The hell with them.
Deep dive into some film here.
Okay.
So we let you guys at home vote on the Twitter poll on which games you wanted Chris to take a second, third, fourth look at from the all-22 camera.
Yes.
I don't know how you get access to that. You must know the right people.
Yes, I do. I know the right people, right.
But you looked at the first game we're going to go deep dive into is Titans and Browns. Later on, we'll take a look at the Chiefs and Jaguars and my homies, how he looked. But the Browns offense, that is really the one unit that I think has the most hype, the most expectation, but also a lot of the most question marks because we just haven't seen them all together as a unit. You looked at the tape, you dove into it, you noticed a couple things here because I got a copy of your sheets.
Yeah,
and your handwriting actually is very good.
Well, thank you.
I can read most of it.
Thank you. I'm a true cursive script writer, as you see.
Which they're not even teaching in schools anymore. Did you know that? Cursive?
Is that right?
No.
Gosh, it's so much easier. People are missing out.
Calligraphy now. It's going to be gone in 20, 30 years. The first note here, and I know you
got it. Yeah, I want to know what you think is interesting.
But I thought it was interesting. So you liked their offense more when it was not in the shotgun formation. You thought in the shotgun formation, which they were in a lot, they were just a little pass happy.
I agreed.
And you liked what you saw from them, but more under center.
Yeah, I fell in love with what Freddie Kitchens did last year with Baker Mayfield because they got in a lot of like power running formations and put Baker Mayfield under the center a lot. And they played through the run. And then off that, they did the play action pass. And you've heard me say probably before, play action pass is the best way to get 15 and 20 yard chunks in the pass game. There's nothing to be. Did you watch New England last night? Did you see what they did?
Yeah.
I mean, it's play action pass. Julian Edelman over the middle, 20 yards. Yep. Play action pass. Gordon over the middle, 20 yards. I mean, that's a great, when you have a run game and a running back that causes or takes the attention away of those second level linebackers, it's a great way to sneak people behind and do that. So they missed that. Yes, I thought they were way too pass happy through the game. They played into the hands of Dean Pease and Mike Vrabel and what they wanted them to do. Okay, and for a lot of ways here. First thing is, I think the Browns O-line is a better run blocking O-line than pass blocking O-line. So that's my one little issue right from the start. Okay, you got a great running back. We know that in Nick Chubb, so that's good. But really, what happened too, and Kevin Byard made this comment after the game. And so this is why I was interested to really. He goes, we knew Baker was a gunslinger, so we wanted to throw a lot of different looks at him. And let me tell you, they did. They did every coverage underneath the sun, Ahmed. They really did. They did it all. I mean, and within doing that, yes, I don't think Baker or Freddie Kitchens ever got into a flow of, oh, gosh, they're playing this, so let's start to call these bunch of plays. There was never a rhyme or a reason. I'm sure the Titans had a rhyme or a reason for why they were calling it, but the Cleveland Browns could not figure it out on that side of the ball. And because of that, Baker Mayfield played sloppy in a lot of different ways. He really did. He wasn't even good in the pocket at times. I think even some of the completions he had were not good reads, but he's got talent, and he's got talent to some guys that catching the ball that he got away with it. But I do think he was confused by the Dean Pease, Mike Vrabel attack, which Dean Pease is one of the greatest defensive minds we've seen in football over the last 15 to 20 years.
And you do like, though, so some of it's Baker, some of it's he wasn't in rhythm.
Yes.
The Titans did a lot of that to get him out of rhythm.
They did, definitely.
And the secondary looks like a unit.
It does.
It can be a solid unit for this Titans.
It's New Englandy. I mean, we just talked about New England, right? They got to, when you start to break the Titans down and you go, okay, Logan Ryan, Malcolm Butler from New England, by the way. Okay, I mean, they're guys that you can trust in man-to-man. They got a Dory Jackson, who's a first-round pick at a USC at the other corner. So they got three corners that can match up with just about any group of receivers in football. And then they have two good safeties, especially in Byard.
You're getting heckled again.
I'm getting heckled by a Patriots fan. What else is new? And so that, and then it gives them the versatility up front to do a lot of different creative things. And that's where Baker, I really felt like, was out of sync. I mean, Ahmed, there was times where he dropped back to pass, and it's a three-man rush, and he's throwing the ball like he's hot. Like, oh, I got to get it out of my hand. No, just sit there. There's three men. There's nobody near you. What are you doing? Or, he's looking one way because he thinks this is I got the coverage here. It's cover 4. It's a two-safety look. Let me look to the left side because I know this is the side I'm supposed to play. Oh, wait, it's not a two-safety look. The safety's moved at the snap, and then he's confused and had to flip to the other side. So there was just a lot of instances like that that I think got him.
He was hit a couple times. He had X-rays after the game on his wrist. Those are negative.
Greg Robinson got kicked out of the game, which was huge.
For the kick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the 3 interceptions the fourth quarter for Baker Mayfield. That's what everyone's talking about. You looked at him again. What'd you notice on the 3 of them?
They were all bad, okay? And this is another thing that, like, Vrabel and Dean Pease did, which is something I learned in New England. And you might have saw me write this down. I wrote on the very bottom where I wrote blitz zone change looks, right? They made it look like they were sending a lot of people, right? They'd have like 6, 7, 8 guys at the line of scrimmage, and then the majority of them would bail out. And a lot of the times it was only 3- and 4-man rushes.
Sure.
But Baker was looking because he was like, am I protected? So therefore, right off the bat there, you're taking your eyes off down the field for a second, right? Because you're making sure, wait, am I protected here? Am I going to get blindsided? So you're looking there, and now you're trying to look up and diagnose the defense. Never good when you're doing that. You'll never see Tom Brady do that, except for maybe once every 2 or 3 games where he gets fooled, right? So that was an issue. But the interceptions, I mean, he audibled on the first one that he threw to Odell Beckham Jr. on the right side, where he just threw a really bad ball after maybe he hurt his arm, and he missed the target with Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, a solid 5 yards behind him. You know, I think honestly on the first one, he tried to look off the safety to such a degree that he came back and he just was going to throw it into a hole no matter what, and Odell had already gone through the hole. It was too late. So he threw it behind him, interception. The second one, I think he's totally fooled. Logan Ryan gets it. He throws an option route into cover 3. You know, listen, I know I don't know Freddie Kitchens' offense totally here, but option routes are very rarely thrown into cover 3, and I'll explain this to the people out there.
Yeah.
Logan Ryan's there in a cover 3. His job there was to be in the curl flat area, to go outside. And the option route was there to be broken outside. So he didn't have to worry about anything. If the receiver went inside, there was other people there to take it. So Logan Ryan had nothing to worry about other than, I got to get outside here. And Baker Mayfield kind of just locked onto it and threw it. Logan Ryan gets the pick. And then on the last one, he throws a ball to Jarvis Landry over the middle, who's running like an under route, 5 yards straight across. And they're playing their well, you saw me write it down, T2 Tampa, right? Yep. With a spy. They're dropping people. They're playing Tampa 2, and they're dropping an extra guy to kind of spy Baker Mayfield and just cloud the underneath throws. Well, he's got a real quick window, and he throws it to Jarvis Landry like before he comes out of his break. But Jarvis Landry's not expecting the ball then. And not only with that, the ball was behind Jarvis Landry too, to where he sticks up a hand, the ball gets popped in the air, Malcolm Butler catches it, runs back for a touchdown, game over. So it was really just a sloppy day by Baker Mayfield.
It almost sounds like you're saying poor decisions and poor throws.
Yes,
it was like a combination.
It was a little combination of both.
It wasn't like a great decision, but a poor throw.
Yeah,
it was
a little bit of both. Yes, I mean he could have got away with some of those. He has gotten away with some of those sometimes, where he makes a bad decision and you just go, well, damn, he just threw a rifle and he didn't matter. He got it in there. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it was a little bit of both. Certainly, and I want to see the Browns get back underneath the center and run the football. Dean Pease and Mike Vrabel aren't going to call these defenses if you're in power run sets. That's really what I want to tell you, because think about it this way, right? You know, if you're a defensive coordinator, you want to call this cool blitz or this cool defense, and I'm going to blitz like 4 people off the weak side. Well, what if he calls like a strong side toss in a power formation? That gives defensive coordinators a heart attack. They go, well, I got 5 guys on the weak side. Now they're outnumbered me by 3 people on the front side, and he just tosses it to Nick Chubb, and he's got 4 lead blockers, and all of a sudden it's a 70-yard touchdown. That always calms down aggressive defensive coordinators when you get in those heavy run sets. And I think really they played into their hands, being a little too pass happy, too shotgun happy.
Freddie Kitchens, very good. Final 8 games last year, offensive coordinator, got that team rolling. That's why he got the head coaching job. Has never been a head coach before. They had 18 penalties, 182 yards. He's got some things to clean up. It's going to be a tough job for him, with a lot of high expectations in Cleveland for the first time in a long time. You were also high on the Browns defense.
Yep.
And there were some questions on the Titans offense going into the year.
Yeah.
With Marcus Mariota, was this going to be his team? Is he going to get that extension? This could be his final year in Tennessee. A lot of good things. You also noted a newcomer in A.J. Brown, the Ole Miss wide receiver. They got him in the second round. And so Titans as a headline with Marcus Mariota. Yeah, that was a positive first game.
A really positive first game. I mean, guys like A.J. Brown, yes, who you go, wow, okay, because he was hurt on the early part of the preseason. We didn't get to see a lot of him. He comes out in week 1, I mean, and I wrote down in my notes, I mean, he's a bigger, faster Jarvis Landry. That's what he is to me. Wow. That's what he looks like.
That's a pretty big compliment.
Yeah, I mean, he's physical and he gets the ball in his hand. He's hard as hell to tackle. He can run through arm tackles and he can break your ankles. That's where. And then I'll even say this: as compared to Jarvis Landry, he probably has a little bit more straightaway speed than Jarvis Landry. So when you go to the Titans' offense, first of all, not only do they have 3 tight ends that are legit, and Delaney Walker, Jonnu Smith, and then 85 is like McCoy Pruitt or something like that, who they use as like an H-back. But then when you go Humphrey as the slot receiver, Corey Davis is the other one, and A.J. Brown, you start to go, damn, they got a little talent here.
They didn't even use Humphrey that much.
No, they did not. They did not. They went a lot of heavy tight end sets, right, and really put the Browns in some mismatch issues there. But running the ball was phenomenal. And Mariota didn't let the game get away from him. Arthur Smith, the new offensive coordinator there, they didn't ask Mariota to do anything outside of his comfort realm. They just trusted their overall game plan. It was a true marrying of game plans. Okay, we're going to confuse Baker and not let up big plays, and we're going to run the ball on the offensive side of the ball, take a shot or two off a play action pass, and have a screen or two, and get creative. And that's where things kind of change too.
What'd you think of that screen? Because obviously such a huge play to Derrick Henry, 75 yards or something like that. And he almost dropped it right away too. They threw it to him. He bobbled it for a second, which has been a question with Derrick Henry, but he caught it. And he's got the weirdest running style I think of anyone.
I know.
It almost looks like he's running in slow motion, but no one can catch him.
Because the strides are so damn long. I mean, he's a giant. If you saw him in person, you'd be like, oh my gosh, how do people ever tackle this guy? I mean, it's one of those kind of things when you see him. But screenplay was phenomenal. The game's 15-13, okay? Let's not forget that. It's 15-13 with, I want to say, 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and you're going, ooh, momentum is on the side of the Browns.
People don't really know how huge momentum is. Momentum is huge.
Momentum is real, as my man Ray Lewis says, okay? Momentum is real, all right? And it got squashed from that point on. That was the changing point of the game, because here we go. Ooh, the Browns, they put together a nice drive. It's 15-13. The stadium's going crazy. They do a play action to Derrick Henry with Marcus Mariota. He drops back, looks down the field, and then dumps it to his left, and it's the parting of the Red Sea. You would have got 30 yards at least, okay? 30, that's it. You wouldn't have got 75-yard touchdown.
Then I would have run out of bounds.
You would have ran out of bounds. You're like, don't hit me, don't hit me. Blow the whistle, blow the whistle. But that was the true changing point of the football game. And, hey, they not only a good play, they caught the Browns in the right defense, and Greedy Williams didn't stay home. Greedy Williams is playing a cover 3 defense and followed a deep crosser a little too far across the field, which allowed then the Titans O-lineman to kind of out-leverage him on the outside and just basically have a wall of people in front of Derrick Henry as he ran up the sideline just straight for a touchdown, and then followed that by Baker Mayfield interception, and the game just fell apart from that. So it's 15-13 late in the third quarter. Browns get the ball back. He throws an interception, gives him the ball in the short field, and all of a sudden it's 29-13 and no time, and it's like, oh crap.
We were probably too low on the Titans. The Titans, they played that win in your in game.
Yes.
In the final game last year versus Indy.
Right.
They lost it, so they were almost a playoff team last year. Now they win by 30 against.
We're in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Yeah, so we're probably maybe a little low on them.
I know. That's a tough division. I know. I picked them to go last. I'm not going to lie. I did qualify it with many times with saying, listen, this is a great division. And if the Titans went to the playoffs, I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this.
It's one game too, and you're like, it was close late.
But still, no, they were more impressive than I thought. I think maybe we were too low, to your point, to what you're saying.
Before we turn the page on this deep dive, offensive line for the Browns. You said better at run blocking than pass blocking, but what overall grade would you give them game number 1?
Oh, game number 1? Oh, well, somewhere in the C to C- range. Baker Mayfield was under duress at times. And really, the biggest issues came from really Chris Hubbard more than anything. He's got talent, but at times he gets into instead of being a tackle where they do kick steps, right? Or they call it bucket steps where they kind of go like this and do this. He got to times where it was like, are you playing one-on-one basketball? He was literally like, I'm dancing around for all those listening out there. When that's just not when you do that, you're screwed. Guys like Cameron Wake or Harold Landry, they're going to abuse you and they get you in positions like you're worried about a crossover in basketball. That's not good for an offensive tackle.
They don't have a basketball. You don't need to worry about that.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, all right. So
run the ball, Cleveland. Nick Chubb is too talented. And it'll calm down defenses. especially if you want to make the games, a little more simple for your second-year quarterback who still hasn't seen everything underneath the sun. I wrote at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Or maybe I did. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't.
Oh, you made a mental note.
I thought I did. But you know what I did think of with the Titans D versus the Browns, though?
What's that?
I wrote at the very bottom, I wrote Texans last year. I would bet you Texans last year have a New England staff that they went back and said, oh, Baker Mayfield threw 3 interceptions out of the Texas game last year. I wonder what they did. And, again, I didn't go back and watch that game, but I remember it a little bit to go, and, oh, they flooded a lot of passing zones. They erred on let's drop people into coverage and just let's see if Baker tries to throw these, rockets into zone coverage. And he did, and because of that, they got some picks. And I think that was a little bit of the game plan yesterday.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.